Welcome to Sewing Out Loud, the official podcast of Zede Sewing Studio. Here are your hosts, Zede and Mallory.
Sewing Out Loud. Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Mallory Donahue.
And I'm Zede Donahue.
Oh my gosh, I have to tell you that Zelda got up on her stool in the kitchen and got next to me and she just started pretending like she was on a show.
Oh, I thought she was going to pretend she was me.
No, she was just like, welcome to our show, da-da-da-da. And I was like, Mommy has a show. And she was like, oh, yeah? And I was like, yeah. And I started out, I say, hello, welcome to the podcast. I'm Mallory Donahue. And I was like, what do you say? She looks at me, you say, I'm Zelda Donahue. And she goes, I'm Zelda Donahue. It was really cute. But then we did a little kitchen show for.
Don't you remember Catherine always doing the Food Network? She was like,
it's in our blood.
I mean, it was. I would give her a big sheet
pan,
yeah, and I'd give her some rice and some beans, and I can't remember what else. And she would make this horrendous mess, but she did the show the whole time. I put this in here, and this happens.
And this is delicious,
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to tell you that she has.
So she can play show because we play show.
Yeah, because we're doing a show.
Yes.
She also confuses the words video and studio because we make videos in the studio. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. This is a Feel Free to Compliment Me episode. We haven't done one of these in a while.
No, so we're going to tell you how proud we are of something we did. Well, what it is you make something and you're thrilled about it. You're like, I just made it. Sometimes it's the simplest thing. You're like, I made this and it's made my life better and happier and it looks good. And people did compliment me. The best compliment is, oh, I love your thing. And they don't say, did you make it? They just go, oh my gosh, I love that. What is that?
Well, and feel free to compliment me if you don't know what this is. It's from a misunderstood phrase, but we thought it was great. And
Mallory's ears were full of pizza or something.
Yeah, pizza and wine or something. And it was wonderful. It also, I think, captures a spirit of something we don't do enough in our world of making. And that's just saying, hey, look at how awesome this is.
Right.
Not, I made this for me, or, it made me happy. And we like to say this in the group, too, in the Self-Sewn Wardrobe group.
And we actually sell a pin.
We
says, feel free to compliment me.
We have a Feel Free to Compliment Me pin. That was our first enamel
Like a pin. When we say pin, we mean a PIN that you put on your clothing and wear.
Yeah, you do say, you say pin.
Pin and pen.
Pin and
pin.
pen.
And pen.
Yeah. Derek has terrible
pin and pens.
He is not.
He doesn't know the difference.
He does not define between his I and eh sounds.
Yeah.
Okay, so we. This got somebody in trouble one time in the group. They said, "Feel free to compliment me," and someone said something like, "I blocked that person because they were fishing for compliments."
They reported the. It was pretty funny.
Okay,
but if you're in the group, you can ask to be complimented,
and we will compliment
it's
you.
Just what. FFTCM.
FFTCM.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is what you're seeing if you're in the group and seeing that. And yeah, you should just feel free to be proud and of something you made for yourself. And Zede, I'm gonna have you go first.
I get to go first.
Yes.
Well, right now I'm on a leotard roll. Okay.
Yes.
So because of some activity that I do, which is
Zede, what do you like to do? What's your sport?
I like to fly. I now have a jacket that says aerialist on it, so I'm an
So it's
aerialist.
Official because you have a jacket.
Because I have a jacket. They let me buy one. I figure it's official, or they wouldn't have let me buy one.
Sure,
right?
sure, I'll take it.
It's got the team logo on the back,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we're Como Aerial Arts. Como is Columbia, Missouri. We refer to our town as Como. So anyway. I'm an aerialist with the Como Aerial
Arts or whatever.
Yes. And we have a teacher. She's not new, but she had sort of stopped teaching for a while, and she came back. So I'm all enthralled with her. She is a real circus person. She was raised doing this, in her family. And she now teaches my conditioning class. And people were getting burns on their abdomen and things like this because we generally wear leggings and some sort of T-shirt or something. Right.
Yeah.
And even if it's often suggested you wear the high-waisted leggings for this reason. But, and when you turn upside down, your shirt falls out. And, anyway, she said, that's why I wear leotards. And she wears a leotard like over her leggings and under her shirt sometimes. She just like makes sure that her skin doesn't get exposed.
Right.
Okay. So I was like, well, I have leotards because I've danced. And I do have some leotards somewhere in this.
We're going to find them.
Yeah.
They're somewhere.
We had put all of these things things I had made into a bag. And it was like Mallory's leotard, my leotard, swimming suits. And it was in a bag labeled samples, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And it's still someplace in the depths of moving. So I couldn't get those leotards out. So the leotards I got out were a little old. Okay.
Pretty old.
Mallory's making fun of them because they're like from the 80s.
It's like we have the leotard that is my first memory of a leotard. And I started dancing before I was 4, right? Like,
Yes.
you had me in dance class. My preschool had it.
Yeah, you actually... You were in a really nice preschool, and the teachers came in and taught.
Right.
They had class. They had their own little auditorium and everything. It was quite nice.
So I just remember leotards, and I remember this leotard, and it was too big for me, and I remember growing into it, and then I remember growing out of it. And did we have 2 of them? 2 of that leotard, that navy and green and white leotard?
No. Well, that one fits me. We had all different sizes. Those were from a gymnastics team thing. That occurred before you were born.
Of course, yes.
So those leotards are at least 30 years old. At least.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm 28 at the time of this taping.
And I'm not. But
everybody's like, Zede's 30 or something, or she's like 35,
Well, anyway, so I thought, well, why don't I make my leotard?
So you need leotards, and you know you can make leotards.
Well, and the first thing that happened, I'm going to talk about 2 things.
Yes,
I'm going to talk about the Quick Leo.
Yes.
Which we have coined Quick Leo,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see hashtag Quick Leo, I believe, online someplace. But,
on Instagram,
and then Leos, just regular leotards. Okay. So what I was going to do is I was getting ready to hem a shirt to go to class because I had this shirt and I stopped wearing it because it was just too long. It kept like hanging over my butt.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have like excess fabric and you're in the silks, sometimes your fabric turns into like part of the silk and is being like tied up, So I was trying to, I was going to alter this. And I had talked to you about leotards before this, and you said, well, why don't you just make it into a leotard?
Well, you had it on your body.
Did I have it on?
You had it on, and
you were trying to figure out where to cut it.
You were looking in the mirror, and I think you, for whatever reason,
taking my pants
didn't
off.
have pants on. Okay, I don't
know
why.
I always wear pants in the studio.
And I'll tell you, Sam was here too. Okay,
everybody was here.
We need to get Sam to sign a contract that says it's like she can't sue us for walking around like with no pants on in front of her.
For sexual harassment,
right? Exactly,
like exposure or something.
Yeah. So, but you did have underwear on, so. You were like looking in the mirror, and I was like, "Oh, you just make that and just sew those panties
goes,
onto that.
Sew that to
shirt.
Panties." And I'm like, "That's weird." Like, I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Okay.
So then I shoved the shirt inside the panties and like pulled it out the leg holes.
And I took a picture and posted that on Instagram.
This is on Instagram, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, maybe this would work." And I was like, "Well, I'm not wearing the shirt anyway."
Yeah.
So let's see,
And can I just say, one of the reasons that I was sort of inspired to like say that to you is that I've been really enjoying being in the lingerie addict group.
Yes.
And they've been
looking
talking
at lots of body
lot
suits.
Of body suits.
Bodysuits are big right now.
They're back.
This season, they seem to be really,
I've just been toying in my brain with like what I would want out of a bodysuit if I made one and stuff, and just really thinking about it. And I was like, it's okay for it to be different fabrics.
Yes.
Because a leotard, I think that you and I, think of the leotard as being all one color or all one composition. Because,
they're not anymore.
Right,
that's
because
for sure.
they're worn over tights for like ballet, which we used to do.
Right.
I think that your Quick Leo would look funny in a ballet class.
Although a lot of the leotards now, they will have a different color bottom and top.
But
I've seen that.
It's not just different color, I guess.
Well, no. And it also, I should have probably taken that shirt up a little bit because it doesn't fit.
Hug
me. Now it's okay as long as I have the high-waisted
leggings
on.
So you are wearing leggings over this particular quick Leo.
That particular one, yes. Yes,
okay, but go on, go on.
So anyway, I did that.
Yeah.
I just went over to the serger, attached it. Well, the other thing I think we might say is that particular T-shirt had quite a big neck opening. So it's a big scoop neck. So I did take it off like going down over my hips, you know, and saw that I could get my shoulders through it.
Okay,
and
you said, you were like, should I just cover stitch this on? And I was like, I think you should just 3TN it on.
And that was what I did.
And that's what you did. But then you made another one.
Yes, and the other one I did do the cover stitch on.
Okay,
because it was a different kind of panty.
Okay, which one did you like better?
Well, I actually like the one I 3TN, but not because of the stitch. It was because of the height of the panty.
Well,
so I like them both, and I will tell you why. The other one was a thicker, more dense.
It's like a sweater. That shirt was like a
sweater
sweater.
top, right? Like a sweater knit. And I don't think it would have 3TN'd well without leaving a real lump.
Oh, good call. Okay.
So the cover stitching those panties on was better.
I thought that 3TNing would be easier.
You know? Well, it was.
I think cover stitching was more challenging, and that's why I was like, oh.
It was, but I think in the circumstance, I was better off doing what I did.
Well, and you could handle that.
Right.
So are those the only two? So one was a gold shirt with a black panty?
No, I've got a blue T-shirt that I put a black panty on.
Okay.
I think I have 3 of those. I think that's right.
I haven't seen those quickly. I haven't seen that third one.
Yeah, it's got a 3/4 length sleeve and
oh, cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Okay, so how cool is this? Because I think next you're going to talk a little bit about leotards you made from scratch, right? And like right now, there's a leotard you've made from scratch over next to the serger, and what you have to do on it is the finishing.
Just the legs, yeah, and
so you don't have to do that with the quick Leo. With the quick Leo,
the quick Leo, your panties are done.
Yeah,
so you're not applying any neckline elastic or leg elastic or anything like this.
Your sleeves are hemmed, your neckline's hemmed, your leg holes are hemmed.
Well, and I actually I pulled some T-shirts from my closet to put some panties on. My problem is I don't have any.
Go buy some panties.
Yeah, it's like, okay, if I make the panties from, then I defeat the purpose of not having to make the panties.
Sure.
So I need to go find some like really nice panties that I like that are like $2 or $3, like less than the elastic I would put in them.
Well, also when you use that pre-made panty like that, I think that one of those pairs of panties was kind of like a thinner, I don't know, like it lets you make the panty briefer or thinner than the top, which maybe you'd like if you're wearing leggings over it. Sometimes
the panties I pretty much were using, had were like nylon with a lot of lycra in them, that sort of stretchy panty.
Right.
Yeah.
But it could allow you sort of in the vein of a bodysuit.
It is in the vein of the bodysuit.
Yeah.
It's just that it doesn't have the snap crotch. And Mallory had said, well, I still think, she had brought it up that, well, you could still do a bodysuit. That would be a good idea.
I was wondering if she could have a closure in her crotch.
And that night that I wore that
Quick Leo,
we did a new trick, and I said to Mallory, no, I cannot put anything in my crotch because we do things where the silks come up between your legs, and there's a force there. So if you had a snap or a button, I didn't even think a piece of Velcro, you'd be really sorry.
You wouldn't like it.
No, because a lot of times we do the terminology too is like you diaper yourself. Do you know
That's
in the
a
silks.
nice term.
Yeah. Like to wear a diaper. Okay. Actually, my friend Jen diapered herself yesterday and couldn't get out. She just stood there.
She should talk to my baby because he can take his diaper off.
She just went. She's funny. She has an accent. She's Thai. And she goes, diaper. So everybody was really laughing. And she happens to be one of the only other elder women.
Is she your age?
No.
Is she a little older?
No, I'm older than her.
Oh, you're older than her?
I'm 4 years older than her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I always talk about how young she is.
So
she's not on Medicare yet, so she's not even like governmentally like
old.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about your Leos from scratch a little bit?
So my Leos from scratch. I went back to my old what should I say? Default.
Uh-huh.
How do you say her name?
Kirsten
Martinson. Is that what it is?
Quick Sew.
Marston? Yeah, Quick Sew. She started doing knits in like the 60s and started publishing. Actually, Quick Sew was her company at that time. And she put out a book that was activewear.
Right.
And it's a book, and it has mastered patterns. And as you know, I have made a lot of things from those. They're like falling apart.
It's a very valuable book. It's great
information. And the other thing that we noticed in this book was, what did I have highlighted?
That she recommends using a 3-thread stitch.
Right, a 3-thread narrow. And I thought, I wonder if that's the first place I saw it or not, because it's the only thing in the book I have highlighted.
Yeah.
The only thing, an orange highlight, stripe right across, use a 3-thread, serger stitch. So we thought that was kind of funny. I'd never really attributed it to being there before. But so Mallory knows how many Leos did I make for Crazy for You?
Oh, I don't know.
Were there 20 girls?
Yeah, something like that.
16, 20 girls, something like that. So from this, I have made costumes. I have made swimming suits for everyone in the family. I have made Mallory acro leotards where if you do acrobatics or gymnastics, you add a panty inside that's built into the leg. The legs are attached to the
trunk.
leotard. And because they don't wear tights.
Right.
So that gives you, it also helps hold it down a little bit too.
Right.
But in fact, if you look on the Olympics, you see those girls in gymnastics, sometimes you can see that there's an elastic band
around their waist.
Under their waist.
Yeah.
It's very faint. You used to be able to see it much more than you can now. Things have improved. But so I went there to draft my leotard. Actually, I looked at my old leotard pattern I had drafted. And it was not what I wanted. I wanted a cap sleeve. I guess my ballet leotards, I wore all tanks.
Yeah.
Okay. So there were some things that I wanted different, and I drafted that thing, and I had a leotard that, the first evening that I did that. And I made very small alteration. I had a little bit too much fabric in my butt. And I think what I really did is I should have measured myself better. I put a larger size
down
there than I should have. I made it a small, and it should have been an extra small.
Okay, so
I'm a extra small, and a medium.
The Quick Sew book is really awesome,
right.
But I used her underwear book one time, and I went by my measurements, and I used like a large, and I should have used a medium or something like that. So, okay. Anything else you want to tell us about your Leos?
So I have whipped those suckers out. Like, I now have something like 8 leotards.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love them. And wearing that, it's just been the most comfortable thing to wear.
And easy, and it protects your skin.
And yeah, that I wear that in a pair of leggings, whether I wear them on the inside or the outside, depends on how I'm feeling that day or what I think we might be doing. I'm just having a good time with them.
Well, I'm feeling free to compliment you, and let's take a little message break. Hey, Mom.
Yeah?
You can feel free to compliment me.
Oh, no. On what?
On this.
What?
My feel free to compliment me enamel lapel pin.
Oh, Mallory. Every time that you hear something wrong, are you going to make a lapel pin about it?
Maybe. Do you want one?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well,
isn't it teal?
Yes, it's teal and pink, and you can get one by going to sewhere.com/compliment.
Just so you know, I'm not putting it on my lapel. It's going on my hat.
Oh, it's going on your hat. It could be a hat pin, too. Okay. All right. So if you want to get in on the feel free to compliment me in on the club, go to sewhere.com/compliment and order our very first sewhere.com lapel pin. Sewing out loud. And we're back after our message break, and it's time to feel free to compliment me, Mom.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear what to compliment you about. And your baby wants to compliment you, too.
Yeah, heads up. Feel free to compliment me on my baby. He woke up.
He's joined the podcast.
We're gonna see how this goes. So, I am going to revisit a previous feel free to compliment me. I made this easy tea dress for Baby Lock Tech, and I made it out of a really sparkly jacquard fabric. It's like this fabric was woven with literal like Lurex strips.
Yes, it's amazing fabric.
The fabric's amazing looking.
Right.
It is a total pain in the ass to
it
work
is.
with.
It's
Okay,
like,
let's mark this.
It's a little bit loose.
It's loose, yes.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought it would do okay.
Loosely woven. Yeah.
I thought it would be okay to put it in the washing machine on like gentle.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Okay, and no, it's not. Okay, and some of my seams were
Here
kind of...
comes up, never compliment Mallory on her laundry
Yeah,
procedures.
do not feel free to compliment me there, okay? So I wanted to wear it. My husband and I were going to see James McMurtry and Todd Snyder. Now, neither of these performers were like at like a really fancy theater or anything, but I just wanted to look cute, you know. So I wanted to look cute for this concert.
Mallory likes looking sparkly.
I do like looking sparkly. And I tried to put this dress on, and it was just too tight around my chest and a little bit around my abdomen too. So I'm nursing right now, and I was not nursing when I made that dress for Baby Lock Tech, okay? So it's too tight. I'm like, oh man, you know? And I'm like, I think I could just add like a strip down the side. Oh, and I need to do something because my seams were coming apart a little bit because the looseness of the fabric.
And it shouldn't have been laundered.
It was because of the laundering. Yes, it should not have been laundered the way I laundered it. Okay, so I was amazing, and I just cut the side seams, and I cut myself 2 strips for the side, and I just sewed them in the side seams, and you know, did my sleeve hem and did my what did you think?
Amazing?
What did you think, Jerome?
Tell us it was amazing.
And I hemmed my sleeves and hemmed my hem, and it was perfect. And I just want to say that it was so exciting that this was perfect because, of course, I was doing this like 3 hours before we needed to go to the concert. You know, it was not like I did this a week ahead of time or something. I was really pushing it to the last minute. And I needed something to wear over it. And this was even more exciting for me because I got to wear my 100% silk jersey cardigan that was designed and manufactured by my friend Quinn in New York. She has a lingerie brand, and she has this silk cardigan that's in her line. And it's this silvery gray. It's so it's not sparkly. It's just shimmery. Yes,
shimmer.
It shimmers, and it looked really nice because this dress is navy blue and like gold, you know, sparkle. And I used two different sides of the fabric, you know, for the dress. The top, it's color blocked, and the top is the lighter gold. And then the body of the dress is the darker blue. And my strips that I put in the side were the gold. I did it contrasting. And I posted a picture of this, and I was like, oh, this dress didn't fit me. So I just altered it. And a lot of people thought that was really cool because, you know, sometimes they want to wear things.
Okay, I want to tell a secret that I hope your sister doesn't hear, okay?
Okay.
So that cutting open the side seams and, you know, the underarm seam of the sleeve, right?
Yes.
I did that, actually, I think when Hillary was born, someone had brought her father a shirt that said Hillary's dad on it.
Yeah.
And it was too small.
Uh-huh.
So I just ripped up the sides and I added that panel like that, right?
Uh-huh.
And I started doing that, especially like when you guys if you grew out of a shirt, especially if it was like a logoed shirt or something and you wanted to keep wearing it, you know, it was, okay. So Hillary tells me last week, oh, I'm bringing you Catherine's Hamilton shirt that you bought her because it doesn't fit her anymore. And I thought, oh, she wants me to alter it. She goes, I figured you could wear it, so I'm not going to fix it. I'm going to wear that Hamilton shirt.
You're not going to fix it. You're just going to wear it.
That's right.
Well, I did want to say that while I was doing this, I really had to think because I I couldn't take out the stitching.
Right.
Right? I just had to cut it away.
Right.
And I needed the extra room. So I was thinking to myself, I think I need 3 inches. And I sort of had to add like double the seam allowance.
Yeah, you do. You have to think about all that seam allowance you're going to take.
Because
so if you
you're going to take it again out of the dress.
You cut it off, plus you're adding, plus you're taking the seam allowance off of the original garment when you sew it. So you have to think that through.
I did it wrong the first time.
Did you?
I think.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I took it out and it's fine. But that was something, if you're going to cut that away, like I couldn't use the seam allowance. I just had to cut it off. But I was so pleased with how it looked. I was really pleased that it fit me. And I did this whole thing where I like put it on my dress form and I put the silver cardigan over it and I tested out some necklaces and I was just feeling really like luxurious and like I was gonna have a good time and wear something really beautiful, you know.
Mallory, I just have the feeling to compliment you over this.
Oh, you know what else you need to compliment me on? I don't know what wonderful alignment of the planets. Because you found these shoes in our costume closet.
Yep.
This is a few years ago when I made the dress first.
Right.
And they're my signature color. They're my magenta, purple, pink color, right?
And they're suede.
They're suede.
And they're heels.
And I own a pair of tights.
The same color.
Exact same color. And if you think that like magenta and navy and like the silvery gold don't go together, I'll post a picture, okay? Because they look amazing together and it looks like I am wearing like boots that go up to my thighs, you know? So the tights just match the shoes so well. And I like to do this. I like for my legs to match my shoes. Like if I'm going to wear a black shoe, wear a black tight. Or if I'm going to have bare legs or have, you know,
we're big on the nude shoe.
Yeah, I have a shoe that matches my skin tone, you know. But with this, I got to have shoes that matched my magenta purple legs, and so I take very good care of those tights and those shoes.
I'll compliment you on that too.
The tights, I put them on. I hadn't worn them in a couple years, and they had a big hole in them that I had sewn up.
Right.
And these tights were not very expensive. I am really taking good care of them because they match the shoes. So feel free to compliment me on the same thing you complimented me on a couple years ago, except I had to change it because I'm a different size now. Okay.
I'm complimenting you.
Okay.
And Mallory has been known to dress like an Easter egg, just so you all know.
Yeah, I do like to combine.
She
a
likes
lot
to
of different
combine colors.
Well, I guess we're gonna see if this podcast episode is acceptable. What with the Jerome? Oh, and now Jerry's calling. So
now I'm getting a call.
Everybody's
bothering us during our taping time.
Jerome is talking and Jerry is calling. But yeah, I was so pleased that I altered that to fit me and I got to wear it again. And I didn't have to feel like, oh, there's this beautiful thing in my closet that I can't wear. And I got to wear the cardigan with it.
And she went out on a date night.
I went out on a date. It was really wonderful. And this is a month or so ago. So baby was, pretty little.
Like 6 months old.
And hadn't gone many places in a while. But yeah.
We had to get her out and air her out.
So don't machine wash your weirdo designer fabrics that are made with...
there are dry cleaner kits at the grocery store that you can buy and you can do your laundry, your dry cleaning in your dryer if you want, Mallory.
Oh,
and I have some of those.
Okay. And then when you need to add to something and you're going to slit up that side seam, remember that you need to
account for the seam allowance that's coming out of the original garment.
Yes. So you're kind of doubling that seam allowance. That was a big thing that I was like, oh, I was not thinking about this as I was doing this 3 hours ahead of time. So maybe don't make your thing 3 hours ahead of time.
Yeah,
whatever.
Like we're all going to change that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't even mean that. I'm being really not genuine when I say that. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this Feel Free to Compliment Me episode. Make sure to post in the group about your Feel Free to Compliment Me's because we feature a member every month in our So Long and So Happy zine. We do a Feel Free to Compliment Me article. We ask stitchers to tell us about something they're proud of, a little bit about the process. Not like a tutorial, just really
just write about what you did.
Feel free to compliment me, and we feature this in the So Long and So Happy zine that is automatically delivered to our Backstitch and Zigzag members. So, just keep posting in the group because we sort of choose who we want to feature based on photos and info and the theme of the month.
Our theme of that month.
And I really love that we get to feature, people who are just having a good time sewing for themselves too. The information is awesome as well, but the fun is good too. And we've had full garments featured as well as like hacks.
Right.
Like someone, adding a big waistband, a power mesh waistband to their jeans. So just keep that in mind when you're posting in the group. You might get an email that asks if we can
have you as a featured, yes.
And we do pay for this. It's not, we don't just ask you to write things for us and not pay you. Okay, Jerome, what are you gonna say after? Okay.
Hey, Jerome, can you talk?
You got anything to say?
Can you say anything?
Not right now.
Of course not. Not when you ask him to.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm gonna say to my baby, so long and so happy.
Thanks for listening to Sewing Out Loud. For even more expert sewing advice, visit sewhere.com.